Conservatives are not happy with President Joe Biden's plan to mandate vaccination at big corporations. The plan would require all employers with more than 100 workers to require either the vaccine or regular weekly testing in order to combat COVID-19 at the workplace. Of course, it's supposed to make it basically so inconveniencing to people who decide not to get vaccinated that they say, okay, I'll get vaccinated. Good. So now this unfortunately has led to many of salty tears from conservatives and screams of dictatorial overreach. In fact, I have a small sampling for you of the freakout. Enjoy.
Perhaps the most egregious assault on our freedoms since habeas corpus was suspended during the Civil War.
This kind of forced vaccination is actually very, very harmful to public health.
Medical bigotry.
This is the most overbroad, unconstitutional, and absolutely insane assault on our civil liberties in recent memory.
My blood is boiling, enraged at what I've seen from the White House today, trampling on our freedom, trampling on our liberty. I call on my fellow Americans, do not comply. Do not comply with the tyranny. And when the Gestapo show up at your front door, you know what to do.
He's an angry man. He's a bitter man. He's humiliated by the Afghanistan situation. He's upset with the economic recovery where it should be, but it's not. So he's taking that anger out on the unvaxxed.
Basically, he said the unvaxxed are the new terrorists.
It's all this Marxism thing that's following through everything that they're doing. I am sick and tired of his going up against Abbott and DeSantis and then saying to the flight attendants, you know what, show some respect for the flight attendants. Maybe some of the flight attendants ought to show some respect to us, okay? If you're trying to feed a 2-year-old yogurt without the mask on and they decide to throw the mother off, I mean, I could go on and on about the absurdity of people who don't have power, who are suddenly engaged in have power, then they abuse it.
Who says it stops at a COVID vaccine? Why isn't it family leave? Why isn't any other item on the liberal death wish list?
Okay. I'm sorry. I just love that last part where it's like, oh, if they could mandate vaccines, what if they do family leave? Based. That would be actually pretty good. That sounds fantastic. Yes, please. Oh no, Joe Biden, please don't mandate paid family medical leave or just paid family leave. Oh no. Oh, how terrible. I love how he had to add in like liberal death cult to family or whatever, liberal death wish list to like paid family leave. How does that even, okay. Anyway, it really does remind me of all the different times that Fox News, conservative media have put up like these supposedly scary graphics of like, oh, it's the Democrat agenda. And it's filled with things like free child care, paid family leave, higher wages, better health care, and all these great things. And it's like, wait, is that supposed to be scary? Like, I actually really like those things. Those things sound fantastic. They even sent like, I remember when conservatives sent somebody over to a Bernie Sanders rally, and she's like, I don't know, all this stuff sounds kind of good. I mean, policies sound pretty good. Oh, that's scary. It's socialism. Oh no. So look, my favorite though video in that little compilation is the dude standing in the random ass cornfield. Like, I watched the whole thing, and I believe it's Josh Mandel, and he's running for Congress. I forget where, in the middle of nowhere, obviously, and so he wants you to believe that like he's like driving around, and he hears the like the news, and he's listening like talk radio or something like that, and he hears the Biden thing, and he's so mad that he pulls over into a random cornfield and then sees a Trump sign. And so he just said, oh, I'm going to stand next to the Trump sign. It had to have been, it was just, had to have been divine intervention at this point. Cause, he's still my president. Yeah, Joe Biden's not my president. He's not the real president. Shut the fuck up. You're an idiot. What is wrong with you? No, I just so happened to find this random Trump sign in the middle of a cornfield, and that's where I decided to film. I'm going to bet that, no, that's not what happened. Look, I'm not saying that there aren't random Trump signs sitting in cornfields in certain places, right? Yeah, of course. I still find random Trump signs in some rural parts of Michigan. Okay, I get it, right? But for me, I don't know. I think that seems too convenient. I'm going to call bullshit. I think he either drove around looking for one of those signs or had one in the back of his truck so he can pose with it. Because you know how these Trump candidates are. Oh yeah, no, I'm pro-Trump. I got Trump everything. Yeah. And they can't wait to go and like make a video or do a photo op or something ridiculous like that. So, but look, the rest of that, you heard it, salty tears. Cry more. Oh, cry more, conservatives. Your tears sustain me. Oh, you know what this is? This is not water. This is it's conservative tears. This is. And yes, it was kind of bubbly. Now it's not anymore. Delicious. Very salty. So look, no, here's the thing, okay? So now an overreach. They want to talk about tyranny, they want to talk about overreach. Okay. Well, let me give you an example of what overreach would be. Overreach would be a police officer or a team of police officers coming to your house and forcefully injecting you with the vaccine. Now, I'm not in favor of that. Nobody watching is in favor of that. No American is in favor of that. And it's not actually happening here. By the way, let me give you another example of, overreach. Paying bounties to people, to private citizens to go and sue people who you think are having an abortion. I wonder where that's happening at. Yes. But no, the thing is, on this, you do have a choice. Either get vaccinated or get a weekly test to go to work. Okay, well, look, if you choose to do neither, which is an option, by the way, no jackbooted thug's going to come and forcefully inject you with something. No, that's not going to happen. You can go home, you can sit home and stew in your freedom all day while the rest of us go out and live our lives. That's it. That's the whole point. Again, unless you're going to admit that the core of capitalism is coercive and that you are forced to, work to survive, which might make the point of socialists everywhere. And I don't think you want to do that, do you? But again, the overall point of the mandates are to make life so inconvenient to anti-vaxxers. And by the way, conservatives do this in other areas. And so there's an era and a little bit of hypocrisy involved in this, because you think about it, what do conservatives do for welfare benefits? Well, they put a lot of barriers. Abortion access, they put barriers, red tape, bureaucracy, means testing. Both conservatives, corporate Democrats and Republicans do means testing to try to discourage people from, accessing those programs, those systems, right? Things like that. Now, that's an inconvenience, right? Look, Republicans make it super, super inconvenient to go and vote with voter suppression, all right? And removing polling places and making sure that people have to wait 6 hours in line to vote. And so, yes, they go and make these things as inconvenient as possible to do stuff. So now what the mandate is doing is making it as inconvenient as possible, and it kind of works in a reverse way, to not get vaccinated. So you need a vaccine passport or whatever, proof of vaccination to go to the gym, to go to the restaurant, to go to the movie theater, or to go to your job, right? And so in the hopes that, okay, fine, I'll get the vaccine, or fine, I'll at least wear a mask. That's it. And so, again, it's a form of social engineering, no doubt. But understand that social engineering is essentially a part of central part of government. And so it's incentives, it's disincentives, and things like that. That's how social engineering actually works. Okay? And so what we've done first with the vaccine is that, okay, we offer the carrot, and that carrot being, of course, it's free, accessible, it's easy to get done. We know that it works. Hell, what we'll even in some places we'll pay people to get the vaccine. We'll offer, like, enroll everybody who's vaccinated into a lottery, and they could win like $100,000 or something like that, right? And so we did that. We tried the carrots. Didn't work. Now it's time for the stick. You want to go to the gym? You want to eat out? You want to do all that stuff? Get a vaccine. We'll even make it easy for you, even easier than it is now, right? And do paid time off. And that's what the Biden bill does. It actually literally gives you paid time off to go take time to get the vaccine from your workday, and then gives you time in case you have, like, in case you feel like crap for the next couple of days, to go feel better. And all of that is paid. He's even offered, by the way, to pay for schools that get defunded in places like Florida if they want to do a mask mandate. And so here's Biden using the power of the federal government as not only a carrot, but also as a stick to try to get people to take the COVID vaccine so that we can actually get rid or at least minimize the pandemic, turn it into endemic, just like the flu or whatever like that, and reduce the amounts of infections and deaths in this country so we can get back to a semblance of normal. That's it. That's it. And so here's the thing. We have done everything. We have asked nicely in order to protect our health. Well, we're done asking. We're done. I'm sorry. We're done bowing to the shrieking minority of people who refuse to think about anyone but themselves. Now, how do you teach people to care about other people? Well, it turns out you can't. And you don't. And that's when you have to get tough and you have to stop coddling the babies. I have more example of these conservative tiers. I have Twitter, on Twitter, I got a couple here. One person says, "Hey, loony bird dictator Biden, same nut closed down American businesses while our southern border is wide open. Hashtag Biden is a disgrace. Hashtag vaccine mandate." When did Biden shut down the economy? When did he shut down American businesses? Was there a lockdown under Joe Biden that I missed? I mean, I guess certain states, California, did some small localized lockdowns, but as far as I know, we haven't had a lockdown, a national lockdown under Biden, directed by Biden. But you know when that did happen? That happened under Trump, where we had a quasi lockdown, but not really. There's more. Emily McGill on Twitter says, Is anyone else getting strong Venezuela vibes after listening to Biden's speech? Hashtag straight to jail. Hashtag dictator Biden. Hashtag Biden is a disgrace. Hashtag I will not comply. Oh my God, they use so many fucking hashtags. Annoying. Okay, so for one, who's going to jail? Who? Is anybody going to jail? Anybody? Anybody? No, it's a fine paid by the company if you don't vaccinate or test. If you choose not to get involved, well, you can always stay home. Nobody's going to jail. Nobody's coming to your door. All right? But no, Vuvuzela. It's George Orwell's 1985. Hugo Chavez. Communism. Coming to your house. Wine Drinking Patriot says, is this still America? Does this feel like America? Reminds me of South Park. Oh, I thought this was America. No, dipshit. Let me tell you something. We've always had vaccine mandates in this country. So yes, it is America. You have to have vaccines to go to school. You have to be vaccinated to travel. This really isn't any different. I mean, in fact, what we did, we did vaccine mandates to stamp out smallpox. And guess what? Do you see anybody in America dying of smallpox right now? No. No. But of course, look, if conservatives have their way, I mean, they've totally, embraced anti-science at this point. They're going to make infectious diseases great again. Literally killing themselves on the libs. Ridiculous. No, again, here's the thing. If this didn't affect me and my family and people that I care about, I'd be fine with you doing whatever you want with your freedom. Okay? But it's not. It still affects a lot of people. So you're going to have to be a fucking team player here. All right? Take one for the team. Okay? And stop being a crybaby and get the vaccine. Because you know what? We're out of patience for you. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and share with your friends. You can subscribe and help out the channel by becoming a patron. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf. Or you can become a channel member as well by hitting the join button below.